innovative content, global audience.
Hello, good morning, viewers. Yes, today is Friday, and you know how it is when it's Friday, we are usually happy. This is Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Princess KESSY.
And I am patience of course.
Yes, you're welcome to the show. We have a lot of trending issues today, but most of all, we feel for patients. A lot of them are still decrying the absence of medical doctors in national hospitals and general hospitals. It's really a sad one at this point that people in pains. You go there with pains and nobody to attend. You know how it is when you're in pain. At that point, all you need is a relief, and when you do not see a doctor to lay your complaints to, that would be a double pain or crisis. It's really sad, and I do hope that the government also will try to resolve this amicably with the doctors as soon as possible. Now we're going to move on with the newspaper reviews. Just before then, I have something special for you viewers. Moving forward, every Friday I will be bringing a special personnel here to be discussing safety tips. You know, our drivers, the rate of accidents is just too much. We sit here on weekly basis, daily basis, one accident here or the other. So I thought it was that it would be nice for us to have a Federal Road Safety Corps officer here on the show on Fridays to be telling us tips on what to do and what not to do, especially talking about rainy seasons. She's going to be joining us live later on the show. But before then, we move on quickly with the newspaper reviews. Now, I'm going to kickstart with the Blueprint newspaper. Now, these are some of the stories we have coming from the Blueprint. The main headline here says, Mata Wale under probe for 70 billion naira fraud, EFCC. And rider says loan diverted through phantom contracts, 400 million traced to BDC. Zamfara government mom. The story is on page 6 of the Blueprint newspaper. We also have a story here that says Sultan raises alarm over post-election killings, and the rider says Khan SGF Okono tax media on peace, good governance. That story is on page 6 as well of the Blueprint newspaper. We also have a story here that says Nigerian custom intercept 1.8 billion naira tramadol at Lagos airports. That story it's on page 23 of the Blueprint newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says NEF won't back selfishness leadership aspirants. Baba Ahmed on page 7 of the Blueprint newspaper. We also have a story here that says NYSC, a far reaching decision of my government. This is coming from Gawan on page 5 of the Blueprint newspaper. We also have a story here that says troops neutralizes 26 terrorists, arrest 25 logistics suppliers. That story is on page 9 of the Blueprint newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says APC stops state chapters from expelling members, recalls Goje. That story it's on page 16 of the Blueprint newspaper. These are all the stories we have coming from Blueprint this morning.
And
Uh,
there's a story here that caught my attention about Nigerian customs
Intercept
intercept 1.8 billion
billion. People will
tramadol.
not back down. They just want to destroy the youth. This happens.
You to see on the streets you see on the street of the mad young guys.
Funny enough, some some
With
some
black.
some are not even mad though. They will just take it and go and sleep from morning till night. From night, once they
And then
wake
they
up, they
come.
take again. They just want to be there doing nothing. They don't want to be useful.
So sad.
And then when we talk about issues like this, I just feel such people and should be jailed for life.
People caught with this
Yes, because what are you doing with 1.8
8
billion,
billion
not million? We're talking about not even
houses.
500 million billion of tramadol in Nigeria. What are you doing with it? Because even the government hospital, I'm not sure they will buy up to that amount.
Mm-hmm.
This is not something you give to people anyhow.
Anyhow,
It's
sad.
really sad. And then A story here also that say troop neutralize 26 terrorists, arrest 5 logistics suppliers. Kudos to the troops. We applaud them for that. And also, Sultan raises the alarm over post-election killings. It's really sad. I think at this point, it's not just the media, but religious leader groups should come out and
Everybody.
everybody hands should be on decks to tax government as well and the security agencies. We move on quickly to the next newspaper we have.
So coming from the first newspaper this morning, the major headline here says May 29, litigations won't stop Tinubu's inauguration coming from federal government. Okay, the writer here says as Transition Council wants unauthorized persons to stay clear of Eagle Square during the swearing-in ceremony, government releases 8-day event timetable for Tinubu inauguration. Now you find that story on the front page of the first newspaper this morning. We also have a story here that says foreign local agents working to thwart Tinubu's inauguration, CSO. We also have a story here that says we spent 200 billion naira on preparation for 2023 census NPC. Air Refine Max 9 ex-Governor McAfee's companies for demolition revokes C of O. And then we also have a story here that says Abure others suspended. LP leaders return to party secretariats. Now you find that story in the first newspaper this morning. We also have a story here that says Peter Obi raises the alarm over impersonators with making voice calling people. Okay, we have a story also. I will attend tribunal's Friday pre-hearing on Obi's petition, says Apapa. And then we find a story also that says, don't allow Buhari's appointees leave Nigeria, CNG tells EFCC, ICPC. We are investigating Matawale over 70 billion naira fraud, EFCC. Now, those are the story making waves from First News newspaper this morning. Wow,
Wow.
the inauguration. I think people should listen. Now, if you're not authorized, you shouldn't go anywhere close to a place that
Yes, stay
because
off to avoid trouble and issues.
yes, a lot of warnings have been coming in, a lot of warnings. So you really want to fall victim.
Because if you don't, Nigerians could be stubborn.
They can
These
be
these
very
people, the
stubborn.
army, the
We,
police, security agencies have been saying
yes,
this for
quite a
weeks
long
now.
time now. They've
So
been
please do
warning
listen, and if you don't have any business there that day, stay at home, watch from your
TV.
TV. You can always follow live broadcast. And then we go to this Nigeria, and these are some of the stories coming from the headlines. Nothing will stop inauguration of president-elect federal government, and the rider says as PEPC adjourns Atiku's petition against Tinubu till today. That story is on page 4 of this Nigeria. We also have a story here that says Matawale under probe for diverting 70 billion naira, says EFCC. That story is on page 9 of this Nigerian newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says APC cautions state chapters to stay on disciplinary matters. That story is on page 10 of this Nigerian newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says Anambra, 2 arrested, 2 missing in US embassy staff attack, says police. That story is on page 12 of this Nigerian newspaper. There's a story here as well that says direct entry UTME candidates to sit for same exam henceforth. JAM remains 2 billion naira to federal government as 2023 interim surplus. That story is on page 20 of this Nigerian newspaper. These are some of the stories coming from this Nigeria.
Wow.
Yes, I saw a story here that says um, JAM remit 2 billion naira to federal government as 2023 interim surplus. I think if we really want to help the country grow, that this is a personal opinion. I think the fuel for jam is too expensive.
Mm,
Why? In echo, they are so
that's
expensive. We're trying to say, okay, let's improve the governance, but these are minors. Some of them are children. They are not even up to adults, and they pay so much. I remember then when we bought, how much did we buy? I can't,
Before.
yes, I can't even remember how much I bought because it's been long. But like I said, and I bought though jam even ate my money, not once, not
Mm.
twice. Just one, the only time I was giving admission was that medical lab. At the end of the day, I never end up doing it. I still had to go and do program 1 year before I now entered school. So please.
And there's this news that caught my attention.
Mm,
Direct entry UTME candidate to sit for same exam henceforth. You know how it used to be now. If you go through polytechnic
mm.
for 2 years, probably you did the ND or HND, you just get direct
I
entry
don't
and go to
think
the
I don't think
university.
this is even visible. This is
And
not right
now,
because you
yeah,
can't expect somebody to go through a university process for 2 years, one
yeah,
year, and
yeah,
come
and
and still
come and
come back
sit
and write
for
for.
jam.
These people
It's
are
not,
just
it's
making the
not
education system so
hard.
difficult for these children, and I don't think it's right. That is my personal opinion.
It's
I
not.
don't think it's okay. And we police arrest too, as regarding Anambra U.S. Embassy staff attack. Kudos to the police, but we hope that they are not innocent people as well. Yes, that is. We applaud the police. Job well done. So they can now move energy also to Kaduna,
Mhm.
Benue, and the rest where
Yes,
a lot of things are
those
going
places
on.
need help.
Yes, they need help. We move on quickly to the next newspaper we have.
And so, coming from the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, the major headline here says, ahead inauguration, Naira falls to 760 per dollar. And then the rider here says, National Assembly leadership contenders rule lawmakers with foreign currency. Demands went up this week. BDC operators. Now you find that story on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Security agents dodging bandits, mocking victims, Sultan. Now you find that story on the front page of Daily Trust newspaper. EFCC probe Zamfara governor over 70 billion naira fraud. You find that story on page 25 of the Daily Trust newspaper. We don't know Chibok girls' whereabouts, military. Okay, that's coming from military. They don't know Chibok girls whereabouts. You find that story on page 27 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Buhari to confirm GCFR, GCON, that story on page 27 of the Daily Trust newspaper. PH refinery ready before year end. Warri Kaduna 2024 Kiari. Direct entry candidates now to write UTME JAM. And then we also have a story. APC National Working Committee set aside Boje's expulsion, says ex-governor remains bona fide member. Now you find that story on page 10 of the Daily Trust newspaper. This is some of the story that follows this morning. A lot is happening. A lot
Yes.
is happening in the country. Now, this story about security agent dodging bandits, mocking victims, time. Now, I don't. How do they dodge bandits? They're supposed to fight bandits.
It's
But they
possible
don't know
also
what.
when they say dodge, maybe there was a trap for them. You know, these people they use. It's not, sometimes
Their
it's not just
weapons.
gun. There's
Yeah.
sometimes they throw bombs and all that. So dodging could mean they escaped a particular style, particular attack. Yes. And then we have the next newspaper here, which is the Vanguard newspaper. These are some of the stories coming from Vanguard newspaper this morning. Patient growing as doctors strike enters day two. And the writer says exodus hits government hospitals as private hospitals record bricks businesses. The stories are on page 13 of the Vanguard newspaper as well. We have a story here that says US convoy attack, police arrest two suspects on page 11 of the Vanguard newspaper. We also have a story here that says government kidnap corps members returning from camp in Rivers on page 6 of the Vanguard newspaper. As well, a story here that says media play crucial role to avert crisis, wars, Sultan, Khan, and SGF on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. As well, we have a story here that says 10th NAS inauguration. Opposition parties worry over bids to alter rules. That story is on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says Montgomery appointed new British High Commissioner to Nigeria on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says Shehu Kuti, court extend detention by 4 days on page 7 of the Vanguard newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says Bawa must quit now. See KESSY, Argentina win two World Cup. This is the sport desk of the Vanguard, and the story is on page 31 of the Vanguard newspaper. These are all the stories we have. There's a last story here that says port congestion looms over suspension of banks in port duty collection. That story is on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper. These are all the stories we have coming from Vanguard. I saw a story here. Media play crucial role to advert prices wars. Sultan. This is coming from the CAN and SGS. Kudos to us. Well done to the media practitioners. At least for once we praised us. Me, I'm happy and smiling now. At least our efforts are not totally in vain. That is a good one. In the media was doing a lot. While reading this every headline, I was just so happy. Media played crucial role to advert crisis wars coming from Sultan, Khan, and SGS. Wow, kudos to the media.
Yes.
We're doing quite
They're doing
well.
well.
I'm happy. And there's a story here as well that says government is now returning from camp in Rivers. I said it yesterday. Then, what happened before casualties, accidents, death, kidnap, you know that it's not worth it. And then we saw on our last paper go one day applauding his government for setting up this scheme. We are not saying it's a bad thing, but because of the current situation in the country, people should be allowed to serve in their
Yeah,
communities.
yes.
After all, whether it's your community, is your community not Nigeria? I'm from Nigeria. I am from a community, so even if I serve in my own community, it's me still serving Nigeria. Please look at it now. What of if, and as I'm telling you, I'm not even sure that their parents will be able to pay this money then. That is why you, yeah, who will now go and drag the federal government to come and pay? Is it me or you or their parents? We
Of
just
course,
want
it's
to,
the federal government.
the schools that they've been
They are still,
kidnapping,
they
how
are
many
still on
have
their
you seen?
uniform. Yes, very much.
Army just told you now they don't know the whereabouts of the rescue boat, right?
Yes, yes.
So what are you saying? And at the end of the day, they're just going to throw their parents into trauma. Into yesterday with I have my share hypertension. You're just going to throw the parent into serious health issues now because you choose to go and serve your country. It's sad. It's sad. I'm not
It's
happy
sad.
about that news. And then a story here that says hospitals groan as strike enters, patient groan as doctors strike enters day two. Exodus hits government hospitals as private hospitals record breaks businesses. I really do feel for patients as
Let's
like
also appeal to the doctors, please. They should reconsider. That's my personal opinion. Because of the sake of the patients, saving lives is their duty. They pledge to save lives. We know our federal government, our government are not trying. The government is trying their best.
but you also know that that's the only way government can. And funny enough, government is not even budging. They don't even
Yeah,
they
they
are
still
not
see
even
See it
falling for
as
this.
unnecessary. They still target. If you ask
And
federal
they're
government,
going
they
to
still
bring
come up
hardcore
tomorrow.
staff to
Staffs to
come
come
and
and treat.
this is really sad. Please, doctors, we appeal to you. We know that you have demands as well, but I think the number one ethic of your job is to save
Save
lives.
lives.
Please save lives. We are begging. We are begging. Please. Um.
So moving forward to the next newspaper this morning, or there's a news there you want to talk about?
Yes, I wanted to talk on this Shea Kuti.
Mm. He's still in
Yes,
custody.
yes.
He's still in custody.
Custody extends by 4 days.
Oh,
This
okay.
will actually serve as a deterrent. So when you see policemen on the highway, please tend to be. Sometimes they just want to do their jobs.
Sometimes they just want to, when you see security people like road safety, the VIO, police, army, just be calm. If you have your papers and if you have everything, it won't
There's
take
no
more than
point.
2 minutes. You're done,
Yeah.
and they will allow you to go. Please, sometimes calm down. Also, this also will serve as a lesson to others. And we have a new British High Commissioner in Nigeria. Well, that is a good one. We move quickly to
Yeah.
the next newspaper we have.
And so, coming from the Guardian newspaper this morning, the big headline here says, after 8 years and 5.9 billion naira on Nigeria Air, minister scores safe 100% on failed carriers, MRO, airport consensus. Now, you find that story on page 4 and 5 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. We also have a story here that says PTC unveils transition activities, warns unauthorized persons to stay away from Eagle Square. You find that story on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. And then we have a story also that says PEP, INEC, Tinubu, APC kick against Article's request for live telecast of proceedings. You find that story on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. And so we have a story also that says cash crunch costs telecoms growth as operators lose 1.2 million subscribers. Now, cash crunch cuts telecoms growth as operators lose 1.2 million subscribers. You find that story on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. We also have a story here that says Nigeria hopeful of 32.5 billion oil project as NNPCI 1.8 MB and D in July. You find that story on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. We also have a story here that says failed Ijora Bridge. Residents blame shoddy job, lack of supervision. Now you find that story on page 8 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Finally, CSOs demand Bawa's exit over corruption allegation by Matawali. You find that story on page 29 of the Guardian newspaper. Those are the story making waves this morning.
Wow.
Well, what I have to say, this story about INEC Tinubu APC kick against article request for live telecast of proceedings. I'm still saying it and I'll keep saying it that I think they should go to the public and ask the public what they want.
If we're to follow the law, we are not supposed to record. It's just that this is something that is beyond, maybe, I don't know. Can anything really be above the law? Otherwise, you're not supposed. I have there was one time I had to represent a senior colleague. She was sent out of Abuja for another assignment. So my boss then asked me to go and cover up for her, and she used to cover the judiciary. That was the first time I've ever entered the court. Then was during Saraki's case at CC. I can't remember, but tribunal issues. Abi asset declaration. I guess asset declaration at Jabi. I went to the court. You are not supposed. It was we were told as you are entering as a journalist, we had our own card to go in. You are not supposed to record live. You can only start interviewing any of the lawyers while the judge is not around. Once the judge is seated and is present, every device goes off until after the proceedings. Right? Yes, that is what it is. You are not supposed to snap. You are not supposed to do anything. As soon as the judge leaves, everybody will bring our camera, will start talking to their lawyers, will start talking to individuals. But once the man comes and sits, every other thing goes off. Probably they have their own CCTV that monitors the whole thing just in case. But that is the law. That is the law.
Well, yes. Then if the law says so, who are we?
Yes, that is the law. We move on quickly to the Punch newspaper. Now, these are some of the stories coming from Punch this morning. Tinubu's inauguration programs begin Thursday. Federal government invites over 65 world leaders. And the rider says, stay away from inauguration venue if you don't have business there. SGF. The second rider says Buhari hands over transition documents to incoming president Thursday. all the stories on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says federal allocation drops again as federal government states share 655 billion naira on page 17 of the Punch newspaper. We also have a story here that says live broadcast threats to tribunal judges live. This is coming from Tinubu's lawyer on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says NNPCL begins crude supply to Dangote refinery next week. That story is on page 25. Beg your pardon, page 24 of the Punch newspaper. We also have a story here that says NYSC at 50. Buhari grants 65 ex-coppers automatic employment scholarships on page 8 of the Punch newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says Mata Wale diverted 70 billion naira with 100 firms. EFCC alleges. That story is on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says 2 head over US consular officials killing, and that story it's on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. We also have a story here that says Osun workers protest as Adeleke begins payroll audits on page 12 of the Punch newspaper. These are all the stories we have coming from the Punch newspaper this morning. I saw a story here that says federal government, Buhari hands over transition document to incoming president. This life, nothing is permanent.
Nothing is permanent to find. He has handed over.
Like I
can imagine the
right
feelings.
now.
You understand? I can imagine the feelings.
And so our politicians should not take a clue from here that nothing is permanent.
One day you leave that position, one day you leave that seat, and the question is, what did you do for us? What did you do for
Nigeria? Legacy are you leaving
what
behind?
Did you leave? That's the big question.
Wow. And also there's a story here that says live broadcast try to tribunal judges' lives. This is Tinubu lawyer. I think also if they can't broadcast live, they should have a record in there after they should come and play and see how it went. And a story here as well that says NYC at 50. Buhari grants 65 ex-coppers automatic employment and scholarship. Thanks to the president for that, but we have a lot of unemployed youth. We are thousands, millions. 65 is just like
it's nothing. I feel like it's nothing. It's
but
just,
anyway, we say
thank you
anyway.
Thank you.
At least
the president.
We've taken 65 off the streets, and that is good as well. We move on quickly to the next newspaper we have.
And so coming from the Nigerian Pilots newspaper this morning, the big story here says May 29 handover, military talks tough, saying no amount of protest will stop smooth handover power to a new administration. That measures have been put in place by security agencies to ensure successful handover. Then I'll review that attackers are terrorists fleeing from outlets in northeast to middle belt. Now you find that story on page 8 of the Nigerian Pilots newspaper this morning. We also have a story here that says Governor Matawale under probe over 700 billion naira fraud, EFCC. You find that story on page 5 of the Nigerian Pilots newspaper this morning. Always respect culture, traditional institutions, Buhari tells diplomats. You find that story on page 5 also of the Nigerian Pilots newspaper this morning. Ted adjourns Atiku's petition against Tinubu to Friday. You find that story on page 6 of the Nigerian Pilots newspaper this morning. We have a story here that says Osun land owners petition Buhari's COAS over army's invasion threats. You find that story on page 8 of the Nigerian Pilots newspaper this morning. Police arrest 2 suspects over attack on US convoy, blame IPOP. Now you'll find that story also on page 7 of the Nigerian Pilots newspaper. Audit report, Senate indicts NECO over illegal 6.5 billion naira contracts. You find that story on page 3 of the Pilot newspaper this morning. Dredging of Niger, Benue, Kaduna rivers to gulp over 20 billion naira 20 BNV dollar coming from Hyperdeck. Now, HYPPADAC. Those are the people saying dredging of Niger, Benue, Kaduna rivers to gulp over 20 BNV dollars. Now we have a story also that is saying Nigerian targets 30 GW electricity by 2030. Now finally, from the Nigeria Pilot newspaper this morning, Nigeria Air can't fly 10 days to expiration of Buhari's administration.
Wow.
You find that story on page 5 of the Nigerian Pilots newspaper. Those are the story
Why
making
can't we
waves.
fly?
I wonder. Now,
Wow,
Nigeria Air can't fly 10 days
that
to
is
expiration
serious.
of Buhari's administration. So everybody will have to stay. Counting starting from 10 days to the handover.
This is serious.
Well, it's actually a serious one. If you know you have any booked flights or something, you should go check on it or we work on it. And then this
But
story has been making
mm,
waves. This Governor Matawale under probe of over 700 billion naira fraud. That's a
200
huge
firms.
that's a huge amount of money.
That
And
is
I
where the EFCC is alleging.
yes, I hope they really dig deep into this matter and make sure the money comes out because we're already in a huge debt. And if this money is there, then this will help
And
go a long
talking
way.
about somebody that is also vying, or one of the people we're looking up to at the National Assembly quarters, National Assembly rather. I really do hope that this is not even true, because if it
Hmm.
is, then
It's not.
I think a lot of these leaders, I'm just imagining, like I've been thinking, what if we have youth? What if we have like that National Assembly, we have maybe 40% youth. You
Youths.
get
Yeah.
that also monitor these people, because they feel like, imagine this money in question, 700 billion, was
Billion.
diverted via 100 firms. So the
Wow.
money was not channeled to one just
One,
firm, though different
yes.
firms, so we are not able to trace them all. But kudos to the AFCC that is
Kudos to
alleging
them.
and saying he committed offense through 100 firm.
Wow.
Anyway, we move on quickly to the last newspaper we have this morning, and that is Sports Day. We have here the story that says how Varese broke Messi's Champions League record. That story, it's the major headline here. I also have a story here that says May 29, Nigerians cautioned against attempt to disrupt inauguration, on page 9 of the Sports Day. We also have a story here that says attack on embassy convoy. U.S. government condoles with victims' family, on page 10 of Sports Day. As well, we have a story here that says Napoli keen to add release clause in new Osimhen contract, on page 4 of Sports Day. As well, we'll have a story here that says Iwobi's Everton close to being sold for £800 million. That story, it's on page 4 of Sports Day newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says logistics ease. 2026 World Cup terms to be in cluster by FIFA. That story is coming from FIFA and is on page 5 of Sports Day newspaper. These are some of the stories we have coming from Sports Day.
Hmm.
Yes, there's a story here. I think, like you said earlier, I just really do hope that Nigerians will listen and they will stay away from them. If you don't have any business, they stay away. And if you are not an authorized press person, don't go there to try to cover the event as well. A lot of people by now would have been accredited. I know then when I cover, I was accredited too. So you go in with your accreditation card. Some of these very sensitive events will have, like this one, because of threats here and there. Sometimes even these tribunal issues, some those journalists, they used to accredit their accreditation card before. go in with. So please, if you don't have, stay away to avoid issues. And then these are some of the stories we have, and that would be a good place to wrap up the reviews this morning. Like I did promise, I was going to come with a guest. I'll go on a quick break, and now when we return, we'll be coming back with our guest to discuss some of safety tips ahead of rainy season or during this rainy season. Don't go anywhere, stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
Everything happens for a reason. Bless life from a different prison. Bless a lot of people locked up in bedtime 7 o'clock.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Ice Prince Amani.
Ginger, aka Swagga Swagga.
My name is Femi, aka the Music and Taliban.
What up, Nigeria? K to the O to the NGA Conga.
Afrobeat Night.
Afrobeat Night.
The Afrobeat Night.
Afrobeat Night.
Nigerian Week in London.
The Nigerian Week.
The Nigerian Week. The Nigerian Week.
On the 19th of this beautiful month of May 2023.
May 19th.
May 19, 2023. Let's go get your ticket.
Go get your ticket because
we're gonna shut it down.
Ice Prince Amani's in the building.
Yeah. Go get your ticket. If you don't get your tickets, now you sabi.
Okay, I'm back with the flow, no joking. You gotta muscle up, cause no pain, no gain. All the boys just.
Ice Prince. Yeah. Ice Prince.
Okay, my people, it could not be better than this. The Nigerian Week in London 2023 got you covered to the extent that you can get a free ticket to the event. And this is all you need to do. Go to the Google Play Store and download TapTap app. Send as low as £1 to the account in Nigeria using SRTV as your transaction code. Screenshot your transaction and send to 447-459-513619 or email it to event@superiorradioandtelevision.com and the ticket will be sent to you ASAP. This is powered by SRTV London and TapTap Send. You already know what time it is. Your boy Ice Prince Amani. I can't wait to ride this.
Okay. Everything happens for a reason. Bless life from a different prison. Bless a lot of people locked up in bedtime 7 o'clock.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Ice Prince Amani.
Ginger, aka Swagga Swagga.
My name is Femi, aka the Music and Taliban.
What up, Nigeria? K to the O to the NGA Conga.
Afrobeat Night.
Afrobeat Night.
The Afrobeat Night.
Afrobeat Night.
Nigerian Week in London.
The Nigerian Week.
The Nigerian Week. The Nigerian Week.
On the 19th of this beautiful month of May 2023.
May 19th.
May 19, 2023. Let's go get your ticket.
Go get your ticket because
we're gonna shut it down.
Ice Prince Amani's in the building.
Yeah. Go get your ticket. If you don't get your tickets, now you sabi.
Okay, I'm back with the flow, no joking. You gotta muscle up, cause no pain, no gain. All the boys just wanna jump, it's okay, I'm blessed.
Hello, good morning, viewers, once again, and welcome back from that break. Like I did promise, I was going to come with a guest. I have a guest here via call. Live with us here, Deputy Corps Commander Honey Ogundayo, Head National Traffic Radio here in Abuja. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us this morning, ma'am.
It's my pleasure.
Yes, ma'am. So on a quick one, we are going to, this is rainy seasons. The rain is fast approaching, has been pouring. And, a lot of drivers, a lot of drivers as well don't, you see some struggling. My colleague was telling me the other day that she was in the rain was heavy. She was in the vehicle and the driver was struggling to use tar to clean. There was no wiper. And this is something that could be very dangerous. Now, what are some of the tips for drivers to follow this period?
Okay, thank you once again.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Talking about weather conditions.
Yes, ma'am.
You cannot compare it with driving under normal conditions.
Okay.
Because when we have rainy season, it has tremendous impact on traffic flow. the operational decisions and traffic safety. So that's why it's very important for all drivers to know that driving under the rain requires more caution, adjustments in driving habits, and stuff like that. At the same time, the road also becomes wet and affecting the car's traction and braking ability. Therefore, driving under the rain requires more attention and more skill than normal driving. And drivers must adapt to the changing conditions to ensure safety of themselves and others on the road.
Yes, and we see also that a lot of these drivers, some of them, their tires are not good, and like you rightly said, you are supposed to be on a low speed, especially during race because the roads are wet. But you see a lot of them too going on speed, and worst of all is that a lot of these vehicle users, the passengers, they don't even complain as well. But my colleague was telling me that she was the one saying, "This is dangerous. You can't do this. You had just stop for me to come down," and the driver was even still quarreling. What are the road safety officials doing about this? Because we're supposed to be taking cognizance of these things as well.
Yes, the FRSC, is not taking it lightly. On our public enlightenment, we go out every day to motor parks or anywhere we can see drivers, anywhere we can see one or two persons at a time. We talk to them on the need to maintain safety on the highway. And a quick one, let me quickly tell us about some tips to follow while driving during the rainy season.
Okay, ma'am.
The first thing that I think every driver should do is that when you are driving under the rain, make sure that your both hands are on the wheels. Don't just be using one hand to be driving, thinking that you know how to do it, because driving under the rain can be more serious. Your physicality has been reduced because of the rain. So you need to pay attention, avoid distractions. Either distraction from phones, distraction from trying to change your tape or whatever. Make sure that you are really focused and keep both hands on the steering. That's the first thing. Then also, you must reduce your speed. And if you cannot see very well, make sure that you turn on your headlights. Because at times it can be foggy, you will not be able to see very well weather because of the weather conditions, so you must turn on your headlights. Aside doing that, you must maintain some distance between you and the vehicle ahead of you. At least keep like a space of about 5 vehicles. But most of the time we see drivers tailgating, that is what we call bumper to bumper, which is not advisable. At the same time, you must also learn to reduce the speed. You must reduce your speed because just like I said earlier, the traction can no longer hold as it used to when the ground is wet, when the road is wet. Also, every driver must know that they must be aware of what we call aquaplaning or hydroplaning.
Okay, what does that mean, ma'am?
Yes, hydroplaning is when, there's water on the surface of the road. And your tire is just on that surface. It's not really touching the ground. I think that's where I can just explain it in a layman's language.
All right.
So that one has really reduced the traction. And if you are not careful and not focused on what you are doing, the water can take away the direction of the vehicle.
All right.
Then any driver should try to avoid flooded roads if you can. Except it's when you don't have options. But when you have options, avoid the flooded part of the road. Because at times, maybe there's a pothole, there's some obstructions, that water has covered. So all these things lead to crashes if the driver is not careful. Then also, the windshield you must try to put on the AC if you have one. Let the AC be on so that it can be clearing the windshield.
And I think the major problem, I think the major problem with public vehicles here in the Federal Capital Territory, for instance, is that they don't have ACs, they don't have heaters as well.
Yeah.
So they tend to battle with winding up, winding down, cleaning, using toy. That is where we have the issues.
Well, that one brings me to the issue of the wipers.
Yes.
Well, if you don't have an AC, make sure that your wipers are working. Because most of the time we see drivers starting with wipers also. Or maybe the blade is no longer okay. So you must, at intervals, check your wipers and make sure they are really functioning well. Because it's very important that you use your wipers maybe when the rains are pouring down so that you can see clearly.
Okay. Now I want you to talk to most of the passengers because I will use myself as an example. There was a time I boarded a car and I was talking to the driver to go slow and to observe the safety tips. And he said to me that he's a professional driver. You understand? Now, most of these drivers don't want to listen to the passengers. What's your advice to people who board, now not the drivers, who board cars like that?
Okay, that's true. At times we have some people on the road that behave like that. So my advice to the passengers inside the vehicle is that they should not keep quiet. They should continue talking to the drivers. Because we have seen cases also whereby some passengers are the one encouraging the drivers. Driver, why are you driving like this now? Move on now. Well, we also have some passengers that knows what they are actually doing. So the ones that knows what they are doing shouldn't keep quiet. Don't allow somebody to kill you while on the road. And if you feel that you have spoken with the driver and the driver is refusing, just try. Get to the next point on the road whereby you can see maybe road safety officials or police or any other military or paramilitary on the road. Draw their attention. Tell them what the driver is doing. I think that one can also save lives.
Now, I want you to tell us some of the dangers of accident especially during rainfall, because people don't tend to know the danger. They just feel like you said earlier, I'm an expert, I've been driving. Do you know how long I've been driving? I want the viewers to know how dangerous it is when you have an accident, especially. We know how, even normally when you have accidents, we know how severe it could be, let alone during the rainy season. Tell us some of the dangers now.
Thank you very much. You know what most people used to talk about, that I've been driving for years. Some people will even tell you, I've been driving before you were born.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I want people to know this morning that it's not how long, but how well. You can start driving maybe from last year, and you can be better off than somebody that has been driving.
Oh, that's called a bad network issues. That is a very serious topic there. I just hope we have her back on the show. And you know that thing Nigerians will do, we tell you that I've been driving before you were born. Hello, welcome back, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sorry about that. Okay, I said some drivers can be claiming they have been driving before you were born. They can be saying that, but I say it's not how long, but how well.
How well. So
my advice to them is that everybody is looking for what to eat. We are not praying for what we eat also on the road. So everybody should learn to drive with caution. Obey the traffic rule. It's only the person that gets back home that we can say, welcome back.
That is true.
If it's better to be late than to be delayed. And that's what we tell them anytime we go to motor park, anytime we go for rallies. We try to talk to the drivers, and what we need is attitudinal change. We want everybody to have this attitudinal change. And when we have this on the road, I think we have a thinner road users. Because if somebody is claiming I've been driving for years, and your claim can be rubbished within a minute.
Within a minute.
And at the same time, What we also tell people on the road is that when you are driving, see yourself as probably the only sane person on the road. And you must be thinking for the man in your front, the man at your back, the man at your right, and the man at your left.
And even pedestrians, people walking as well. Think for everybody.
Because we should also know that it's not even only humans that have access to the road. We also have animals as road users. So we must be careful, and we must accept the fact that we are not the only one on the road. It's a shared responsibility. Road safety is a shared responsibility. Everybody must do his or her own part to make sure that we get all these crashes off our roads.
Yes, ma'am. So just before we let you go as well, we want you to talk about, normally when we see during this rainy season, another thing is traffic. And these are things you cannot avoid. A lot of people want to go home. A lot of people want to, when the rain starts falling, maybe around 5 or 3 or 4, everybody just wants to pull head out. I want to go home on time because of traffic. Thereby, sometimes when you go to maybe Yanya Road, Apo Road for some time, you see that everywhere is jam-packed, the rain is heavy, and people are hitting on each other. And most time, we don't tend to see your officers around.
Yeah.
Usually, I see them from the place I live. I see them during the maybe morning and afternoon. But times like this, we know that it's not easy also to stay on the rain or to be controlling on the rain. But we don't tend to see them during these traffic times.
And that's the major time we need them, because at that time most drivers tend to beat traffic. They just want to move past and past the traffic jam, or probably they tend to stop in the wrong place. People that want to drop their passengers, causing more traffic. Already it's raining, and then we don't get to see the officials around.
Thank you very much. Let me start from our officials.
Okay.
Our officials are always on the road. Always on the road. Let me tell you one thing. We don't work in the night. We close by 6 o'clock. But our rescue team work 24/7.
All right.
The rescue team, in case there's any crash, the rescue team are always there 24/7. But when we go for normal operations, we close by 6 o'clock. But the rescue team, they are always there 24/7 in case there's any crash or there needs prompt attention or any need to clear any obstruction from the road.
Okay.
Then I would also like to tell the drivers and advise them they should maintain lane discipline when we have cases like this, maybe particularly when the rain is falling. Everybody wants to get home, but slow and steady, everybody will get home. What we see is that everybody is rushing at the same time, changing from one lane to the other, which is not normal. They should maintain lane discipline. They should be patient. Don't allow somebody to kill you on the road.
Okay.
What we tell people is that even if you know that you are the person that is right, there's something that we say in FRS balance. When there is a crash or what we call accident, we don't ask who is right first. We ask who is left. That is to say, we try to quickly help those people that are still alive. Maybe probably rush them to the hospital to get attention. So when you're on the road, please don't allow any reckless driver to kill you. Try to be patient, maintain lane discipline, follow the rules and regulations so that you can get home safely.
Well, thank you so very much, ma'am, for being on the show.
Before I go, let me also tell you that our men, our personnel, they are also working under the rain. We have raincoats.
Okay.
The commercial have made all these things possible. So even under the rain, our men are there. Then there's one particular number that I need to inform our listeners or viewers.
Go ahead, ma'am.
We have one particular number, 122. It's a free toll number.
122.
In case there's any obstruction or there's any crash on the road, please dial 122. It's a free toll number.
All right.
From any of the networks, no one is going to be charged. And if you get to our call center, we'll get...
And there will be a response immediately, ma'am.
Yes.
All right.
Immediate response. Prompt response.
All right, ma'am. We know as regarding to issues of safety, we have a lot, but we'll let you go now. Maybe next week we'll talk on other issues. bordering on people safety issues as well. I've been on call with Deputy Corps Commander Honey Ogundayo. She is the head National Traffic Radio here in Abuja. Thank you so very much for being on the show. We appreciate your time, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, so we've seen some of the safety tips for driving during this rainy season. I'm thrilled that she had to list them for us.
Yeah.
She went step by step, things you should do, things you should not do while driving during this rainy season. Now we just really do hope that drivers are going to adhere to these instructions. Like she said, it's better to arrive late than to be the one that be late.
Be late.
Yes, I want you to be that your take home today.
Yeah.
Please. She did justice to these tips today. So please, drivers, I will always say that at the end of my show, drivers, drive carefully while you are out there. Know that it's better, like she said, you come home late than they will bring your calls back home. Please, no matter where you're rushing to, obey the traffic law. And I'm more concerned about rainy seasons. A lot like me, for instance, I don't see during the rain. You see that I'm using glasses, so I can't even drive on the rain. And that is why once it's raining, I quickly look for somewhere that is safe and I park my car with the hazard lights on. So please, during this time, know how to drive and don't disobey traffic. That rush, I want to meet up. I want to beat the rain. I want to beat traffic. Please, let's all be good citizens. Hopefully, we're going to have her again on the show next Friday for more tips on safety and road users and commuters as well. Thank you so very much for being part of the show. That's a good place to wrap up the show today. Thank you, Pat, for being on the show. Thank you, viewers, for being with us. It has been a fun ride since Monday till now. Wow.
It's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday. We're happy. You know,
Yes,
when it's Friday. There's this feeling that comes with Friday.
It's Friday.
We're just happy that it's Friday. And of course, we're going to have some kind of little rest when we close today. While you're out there, don't forget to hit on the notification bell.
Share and follow us.
Yes, invite somebody to the page. Let it be a chain. We're doing a lot of amazing programs. What's actually going on here on SRTV, both here in Nigeria and in London. So you don't want to miss out. Be part of the team. Follow us. Bring people on. Let's continue the good work. And let's not forget also a Nigerian Week London. It's now July 20th to 22nd. I want you to get your. That is a new date. That is the new date. I was sticking with this date. So I want you to get your ticket, get your stand, and of course, it's not just for parastatals or ministries or agencies or the superstars alone, but individuals. As an individual, come and showcase your business. Come and showcase what you do. Let the world get to see how amazing you are, that product you are selling. So be part of that event. Just get your stand, get your ticket. We have the likes of Ice Prince, Femi, Konga, Terry G, Biliki. A lot of celebrities are also coming up. Big time film producers, directors, Nollywood stars, and of course we have a lot of politicians, ministries, agencies that are turning up. It's going to be fun. You don't want to miss out. So get your tickets, get your stand, and be part of that event. Nigerian Week London 2023, and the date is 20th July. We are going to kickstart that event, and it's going to be fun. So be part of it. I'll leave you with the words that her words also are Deputy Commander Honey said that it's better you arrive late than
to be
the late. Please take this to heart. On a serious note, take this to heart. While you drive, don't disobey traffic. I said the other day an animal was trying to disobey traffic and they ran into my car. So you can see that this is not just for we say the drivers, the public drivers, even individuals, even officers, officials, they do this. So please, everybody should take this to heart. It's a good place to leave the show today. Hopefully we'll see you on Monday. Thank you for being with us. Well, it's been a fun week, like I said. I remain yours truly, Princess KESSY.
And I am Patience OKOSUN.
And I won't forget to thank the people behind the crew behind the camera. They're doing amazingly well, both here in Nigeria and of course in London. Thank you for all you do. We appreciate your work. We appreciate your effort. Remember,
peace is priceless.
So let's give peace a chance. See you on Monday.
Everything happens for a reason. Bless.